Good day, everybody. We will be with you shortly. Good morning, everybody. We're getting the stream started. We're getting things started behind the scenes. We'll have Pedro and our guest of the day here in just a moment. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of DYOR Live. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of DYOR Live today here on the DYOR Media Network. It is, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it. It's already one half of the way through the year. It's July 2nd. That right? July 2nd, 2024. The year is going by quickly. I cannot believe it. It's one day closer to Christmas, one day closer to my birthday, and one day closer to the end of everything here on the earth. But until that day, we're going to have fun degenerating in crypto and bringing you the newest, best, and greatest information out there for our millions of viewers. Okay, we don't have millions of viewers and all that, but this is also the time and place in the show where I like to say, welcome to my co-host, Pedro Garcia, the crypto analyst. Pedro, what's happening today?
Everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. It is a good day, man. I cannot complain, man. It was a good weekend, and things are going well. How you doing, Tom?
Doing well. We had I'm up at in Kanukistan right now, and so as an American in Kanukistan, in Canada, I get to celebrate Canada Day and the 4th of July. So we'll be here for both days here. So I had a good weekend. Did a little some of the in-law stuff and had fun. I was in Toronto. And the missus and I came back here to Ottawa to get back down to business here and get ready to take another day off for the 4th of July. And we're going to hit up the U.S. Embassy party here in Canada. So it's always a good time, a good networking event for sure. But Pedro, how about you? How was your weekend? Pedro, you're on mute.
Oh, accidentally. Sorry about that. Anyways, so yeah, it was really good, man. I'm just basically barbecued, hung out, chilled with friends. So it was actually really good. A real chill weekend. I actually liked it. Unlike most of the time where I'm looking at charts and staring at things that could potentially happen. So yeah.
Well, we have a guest here. It says, Calamity Crypto says, hey, Pedro, long time no see. Hope you are well.
I know. It is good to see you too. That's yes.
We got Crypto Mike in the house coming to us from Canada. That's right. Oh, Canada, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. And Mr. Crypto, Mr. Calamity was the gentleman that I met when I was running the VCs for Bitcoin or for Moonrock.
Oh.
So yes.
Oh, there's your connection that you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah. So it was really interesting. Real quick, if you guys don't mind, so I can just do a little shot. If you guys don't mind hitting that like, subscribe, and share button, that would be really great. Please share to your respective platforms that you typically go check out. In a nutshell, it's always one of those things that does help us out ultimately, because by going out there and really doing that, it puts us to people who would really appreciate our content. So we'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing that. Definitely. And you guys are probably wondering what's going on with Bitcoin, right?
I think we are wondering what's going on. We want to know, are we going to make fat bags this week, or are we just going to consolidate and piss our money away, Pedro? What's going to happen? What's happening in Bitcoin?
That's a great question. So one of the things that we talked about last week, right, is that we weren't really putting in. I do not know. Where is my screen? What is going on?
Your screen did not show up where it's supposed to.
Yeah, I could do that here real quick. Let me just take.
No, it's not your fault. It's my fault. Let's see, Pedro Electron. Hold on, I gotta find the right link here.
Yeah, I switched screens here real quick on that, so I probably should. I didn't think about letting you know. My bad. But real interesting though is what was really interesting this week, and we talked about this last week. So, and as the market was selling off, right, over this past period, I said we're going to come down to that 59 area, right, 59, 60,000 area, and there was that demand zone that I've talked about quite a bit, right, which was around the 61,000 to the 56,000, where the daily 250 period moving average was sitting. And so we know this in the past because I've showed that screen multiple times. Now, what's interesting is that I said if the end of the month happens, and as this is happening, and this is really important to pay attention to, right, is as the market is coming down into these lower levels and to test that 200-day period moving average, If it comes down towards the end of the month, we want to see the market close, right? And in saying this, I said we wanted to see it close if it was going to continue down, because we're looking for shorting the market, right? We would want to see it down more at the 59,000 area, but we closed at this level, but above where I thought it was going to. So it was actually looking. I was hoping it would go up a little higher on the month, but we are showing more indecision on the monthly candle. Now this is important because I said I want to see the market first go down first if it was going to go up, right? So it needed to go down first to go up. And then if it was to go up first, then expect it to go down. So at the beginning of the week, we did see it that we did go up. Now we're going to see this go down, right? So how far are we going to test these lows now? Because we're already starting to see it. Yesterday it went up. We put a hanging man here where we hit the 200 or the 20-day period moving average and almost hit it to a T. And now we're starting to find a little support. So potentially we could see this market follow it all the way down and test that 80 or the 58.30 mark. Okay.
58.30.
Yeah, 58.30.
Not 68.30, 58 going down.
Yeah, going down to test this lower part. And then towards the end of the week, now this is good for the monthly candle, literally because we are going down first for the week. We might continue for 2 weeks as we go down, then see it go up towards the end of the month. So this is where it's going to be a little tricky, because if we continue, how far is it going to go down? I've said I expected to see it go down to 50,000, right? And then potentially that 41,000 area. So it's a little complicated, and I hate to be, but at the beginning of the month, right, we want to see what the market is going to do for the full month. So the idea, like we talked about here for last month, right? Remember when it went up first and I said expected to go down now, right? It's the same thing. We went up a little bit first and we're coming down. So potentially towards the end of the month, we should see it push back up and stay within this range, or push down and the institutions really start hammering so that they can buy in and put in their sell or their buy orders at lower areas. So that's in a nutshell. I know that's a lot. I apologize for being so complicated.
You know, it is a lot, but one of the things that if you watch a lot of the people like us on the internet, we've been talking about it going down into the 50s for a while now, and including the first time it did 2 weeks ago, and people threw hate on us like crazy, but you're like, that's what the charts say, and including where it went back up and came back down again. Other people are talking that this is a sign right now that it's just ready to just go blast off anytime now. What are those people seeing, or what are those people missing that you're seeing that's preventing, that? Like Rand and crew are like, it's ready to go in the historic bull run rise any day now. And we're saying the opposite. We're like, it's got more time down here before it does that. What are they missing?
I think because they're more fundamentalist, so they see things from a different perspective. Whereas with me, I'm a chartist. I look to see how the institutions really want to place their orders in. And I always bring this up because this is really important, right? Now that the institutions are involved, they will not pay for expensive things, especially when it comes to like Bitcoin. And so they will push it down. They will figure out a way to push it down. Institutions do not pay for expensive stuff when it comes to stocks. They don't. And I think this is where I think Rand and a lot of the other people here don't really understand fully, like the trading standpoint.
Right.
Is like they will do whatever it takes. If they have to get Congress to sit there and pass a law and then go, oh no, my bad, excuse me, kind of like a Joe Biden, right? No offense, right?
Go there.
But flip flop. Okay. And so there's this where, it's like they're going to do what they need to do to get a good price, and then be like, oh, our bad. You know what? Let's push it back up. That's what I think. And that's where I'm seeing it from. Whereas in the past, institutions weren't really involved. You didn't have ETFs. You didn't have, BlackRock stepping in and doing all these things to really kind of get in at a level. So this is where I feel like it's different in that mindset. And so they're looking at the historical stuff, Whereas I'm just looking at, hey, institutions don't like expensive stuff, so they're not going to, it's just it. In a nutshell.
All right, Pedro. In other words, we're not going to see that big pump for BTC just yet.
Yeah, I think
lots to do with BTC before it gets ready for that big bull run thing. And frankly, we have a lot of time. History says that these pumps happen well after the halving, and it's still just after the halving. So we've got time. We just can't have another summer doldrums like last year, where it was just consolidation all summer, and we wanted to all slit our wrists. Oh, look, guys, I made $1 on that trade.
Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to our guests coming up, I do have a major announcement to make for the DYOR DYOR Live show. DYOR Live. I can't even say this. I'm so tongue-tied today. DYOR Media channel in general. We've got a new sponsor here, a new partner coming on board officially today. You've heard me talk about them before on my screen back here. BYDFI is coming in to be our official exchange partner. And like my friend Zach Humphreys always told me, he said, just keep with this and your small little channel will grow. And eventually people will reach out to you. They'll either take your calls or they'll start reaching out to you. And both of those are happening right now. And I'm happy to be able to make new graphics. I can put on BYDFI now. I've got two of them here. I've got the banner on the side. And what I want to say is that we're putting together, as you know from many other influencer, KOL, or whatever channel you want to call people like us getting out here talking. The exchanges give us incentives to sign up people. That's how it works. And if you sign up through our link that's in the body here, you can get, as it says up to here, $2,888 in free stuff, in free trading credits and in bonus cash. If you open up an account, and the good thing is that BYDFI is able to be used in the United States and Canada. They're not banned. They're not doing anything shady like early Binance or anything like that. I asked them specifically, US and Canada, they said it's right on their website. US and Canada, all is good, and you have to KYC only at certain levels, not if you're just looking to exchange and use them as an offshore exchange, but if you're using them to trade large amounts of futures and that type of stuff, obviously you fall into their KYC things, and they send you a tax report and that type of stuff. But they're a good group. I've been talking to them for about 2 weeks. They have a good exchange. They have 20 million users, which is nothing to fade on here. It's a lot of users. Their markets are very liquid. I've practiced what Pedro's been teaching me on not only in the Bitcoin market, but also on Blast and a couple other kind of pairs that I thought would be mediocre, and they have great liquidity in it. And so either they have great market makers, or they do have a lot of people trading it. And so we're going to be talking about BYDFI a lot. To Michael, their CMO, thank you very much. And to Stella, their business development person that brought us on. Also, thank you very much. And while we're at it, Jesus, welcome to Jesus from San Francisco. He hates KYC. He's a car dealer.
Jesus!
Jojo from Squirrel with Nuts says, congrats, thank you very much. And then, of course, Dara coming to us from Madrid, Spain. Thank you very much, Dara, for tuning in as usual. Jesus says, we beat Medicare.
Oh, dude.
Now,
Jesus,
for those of you that don't know, that was a reference to the debate the other night.
Yes.
But anyway, we're going to start rolling out the incentives. If you sign up for BYDFI, they have all kinds of different incentives. You don't get $2,800 just for signing up. You got to do a bunch of things. Obviously, you have to trade with them. You have to participate in their different programs and communities and all that. But nothing crazy. I've worked my way through a bunch of them and have acquired a few bucks in free trading things, which I did not manage to lose. My account is actually in the plus. I've been working on big things like $10 trades to reteach. As many of you guys know, I was in the futures markets for a long time back in the day. But never, it was always the in-person, buy, sell, already had June, March. And now it's online and different, and perpetuals is different than monthly futures and all that type of stuff. But anyway, they're a good group. We're going to be talking about them a lot here, and we're going to be holding competitions and giveaways and trading competitions and all that type of stuff to get you guys interested in it.
Definitely. You know what's interesting is, and I think this is really like, so jumping back to just the debate, dude. I'm scared on one end, Orange Man, but then I'm scared on the other end because who's gonna pop up, bro? Who's going to pop up? Who, like, it's like, bro, I'm like, I mean,
You're slipping back into the debate here, Pedro.
I am just a little because because of the statement there. Okay, it scares me because of this, and this is the truth. We don't like. It's like we're stuck between a punch in the face and a kick in the shin, man. I just like where do we go now, man? Like
my eloquent co-host Pedro Garcia, ladies and gentlemen. Punch in the face. Scary. It's like Mike Tyson says. Everyone has a good plan until you get punched in the face.
Oh man, it's scary. It's scary times, especially with everything.
Anyway, it's that time of the show. Oh, in fact, before we switch over, there's BYDFI Stella. Thanks, Stella, for joining us and introducing us to your great company. Really appreciate it. All right, I can go on with the comments for a while here now, but more importantly,
I was about to say, Stella. Anyway, sorry, that's an old.
Yeah, it's an old.
She probably hears that all the
time. Windows commercial. I don't mean Microsoft Windows.
Oh.
If you're from the Midwest, you've heard these Windows commercials. New Windows, Stella Windows. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, our partnership with the DeFi Dojo brings us good things and good projects here. I love this part of the show because it's time for the DeFi Dojo segment here. Thank you to JB and Ryan, and I can't say his name correctly, for bringing us good quality guests to be on our show, and we thank you for that. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're a small organization or a large organization looking for a package of AMAs on Telegram, X Spaces, and YouTube, click on the links below to the DeFi Dojo, and JB will get you sorted out. They can even get you a, let's see if I can get this right. No, not that one. I was going to bring up the Assure DeFi logo, but my button's not working. I brought up the other one. They can get you a discounted KYC, so you can get your internet project or crypto project complete and legal. And don't forget, if you have any connection to Europe at all, the Markets in Crypto Act is now in force in Europe, and you're going to have full KYC and a machine-readable white paper for every crypto project out there. So if you need more information on that, of course, let me know. But thank you to the DeFi Dojo. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring on our guest of the show today. That's Shelly. I'm very famous for having technical gaffes because I run this whole thing by myself. But I'm going to bring it up here. Ladies and gentlemen, Shelly Rupel, CEO and founder of DYOR. Hashtag DYOR Go. DYOR. First of all, welcome to the show, Shelly.
Thank you. You guys are having a good time here. I'm ready for the party.
We try to have a good time because it overlooks all of our other mistakes and gaffes. We say gaffes and laughs, or laughs overlook gaffes, and if you entertain, people don't complain. That's how we roll here.
It works.
Are you not entertained?
Anyway, so for those of you that don't know, DYOR is a company taking on the entire restaurant industry from a ordering perspective, from a loyalty perspective, from a gamification, and from getting food from a restaurant into your stomach in a way that is just better than everyone else. Perhaps a little less expensive, but definitely more interesting than Uber Eats. Shelly, tell us the basics about DYOR here.
First, thank you for having me on. This is great to be here with you. Gotten quite a few chuckles from your intro there. So DYOR at the heart of it, simplest way to look at it, we're the Web3 DoorDash or Uber Eats, looking at all things powered by blockchain Web3, really focused in on gaming, entertainment, digital communities, and over 72,000 locations live in the US. So most likely you'll be able to find a restaurant near you, and we're taking it on, as you say. The restaurant industry is a big one, and there's so much power to the what blockchain can bring to the restaurant industry, and we're here for it.
Well, as you say, the the Web3 aspect of this is important, and the Web3 aspect leads us to bringing in all the newer, younger people into the world of crypto, and what we try to do from an education perspective. But what you're doing, I noticed on a lot of your marketing material, you're really hitting that Gen Z crowd, and I call them the applications crowd, because instead of picking up a phone and calling someone to place an order or call a taxi, they'll download an app, they'll create an account, they'll fund it with their card, they'll do 94 steps instead of calling. But if you get them to do that, they're very loyal. So what has been your focus on the Gen Z crowd?
It's an important digital native generation, right? They grew up with the smart devices and iPhones, iPads in their hand, as well as within the restaurant industry. They are working to make their demographic and their customer base younger and younger. So when you look at gaming, digital communities, everything that is just, natural to the digital world and those types of communities, Gen Z just makes sense, for sure.
Absolutely.
I've had some fun times with employing Gen Z people in which I've had to reach across the conference table and just take their phone out of their hand. Here you go. Let's pay attention.
Careful.
And I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, I'm ordering lunch. And I'm like, but we're in a meeting. He's like, I'm ordering lunch. Anyway, so we've got the basics about Devour and what it is in. Before we get into more of the details of it, I'd always like to ask my guests, what was your first exposure to crypto? What was that first time where you went, wait, what? Bitcoin? What? Mm-hmm. What was your first experience?
So it was 2017. Prior to that, I'd spent a couple of years up at the Grand Canyon, so was a little removed from a lot of things, including third-party food delivery. Right. Living off the grid there just a bit. But 2017, a business colleague started talking about Bitcoin and that they were really into this cryptocurrency. And at first, I always admit I was a naysayer. I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. What are you talking about? Then I became curious, and my first entry was low barrier of entry. Downloaded the Robinhood app, and I could buy into Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin,
right.
Of course. So
same story on my part here.
Yeah. And then you go from there. And how do you get a wallet? How do you do swaps?
Right.
And it's an education process, but that's how so 2017 introduced, 2018 started playing around. Pandemic, I went head first. I needed a hobby, and I really started diving into how is this technology going to impact industry, especially the one I love, the restaurant industry, and then
you made a decision that when I speak to people a lot, that decision is I'm leading my life fairly normally, doing the basic things in life, getting by, enjoying things, working on other things, struggling here, things are going well here. I'm going to start a business that involves crypto. The decision that blows most people's minds because of the complexity of it. What was that thought process? And you're like, I see a niche here that's not being served properly. I think I can start a business and capture that. What was that shining moment for you?
Part of it was a perfect storm and intersection in that I've been an entrepreneur about 20 years of my career. And I happened to be, I was in an extremely stable, good a Web2 corporate job running a division, strategic partnerships division for a publicly traded company. But I just could not let go of the impact that blockchain was going to have on a lot of industries, but its impact in the restaurant industry. As I started to reach out to colleagues in our network, different things, try to find out, was anybody pivoting their tech roadmaps to take it on for the industry? Web 2 to Web 3, how are we going to bridge that? No one was. That was fascinating to me. No one was even thinking about it 12 months, 24 months down the road. And there was zero doubt in my mind that a company needed to come along and do that. And so with that, Devour was born.
And as I understand from looking through your material and watching some of your other interviews as well, is that you're able to grab the. First, I want to our viewers, this is not a concept here. This is a live company that can reach 75,000 restaurants and, of course, millions of potential users with their project. This is not a well, maybe we'll get to it if we get funding. You can do this now, and you can access drivers and logistics networks that I didn't understand you could do. So you don't have to go around and start up your own driver network in order to be able to order delivery. You have the ability to partner with Coinbase Commerce in order to get access to the merchants, and you can access the other companies that have delivery groups that need more orders to keep those guys busy. Is that a good summary of how that works?
For sure, in part. So Coinbase Commerce, we partnered with them for being able to use your favorite crypto or token outside of our native token DPAY to pay for orders. To your point, yes, from a driver network, we didn't have to build that. It already exists. The big three, DoorDash and Uber Eats in particular, they're really, really good logistics companies. And there's a lot of technology that's available we get an order, we get that to the restaurant, and then we're able to what's called dispatch, DoorDash, Uber Eats, most likely regional providers as well. This order needs picked up at this restaurant. Here's the user that it's going to, and then we're able behind the scenes to watch that all happen, make sure that the order gets picked up. About 5 to 10% of orders have some type of issue. That is third party in general of right. All the different pieces and moving parts. But it's a pretty it's complex, but it's pretty straightforward in what we're able to do and how we're able to partner with that.
All right, so you've told us about your company, how the product works, the basics of it. Now, the important point is that you mentioned that not just paying with other cryptos or other ways through the Coinbase commerce platform, but you have your own token as well that you can use as currency for all of your products, DPAY. Tell us all about that.
Yep. So our native token, DYOR DPAY, it's native to Ethereum. We've also cross-chained to Solana. We're a Solana grant partner, and so getting on the Solana chain and some of the development we're doing there was important. We'll continue to cross-chain across others as well, and one shared supply, so we're not diluting that out. But it's the heart of the economics, the financial component of the system is that ability to use DPAY. For ourselves to reward in it, for merchants to reward in it, and for our strategic partners to be able to do the same thing. So you start to look at, hey, what's the different ways that demand will be created for the token itself? And there are so many ways within the platform and the way that we do grow through strategic partners that just a major use case. To your point, we're not vaporware. We are out there. We're live, right? You can you can download our app and use it. We've flown under the radar, really low under the radar as we built during crypto winter, and so we're in this spot for tremendous scale and growth as a company, but also then our community to be able to take advantage of that as well, really appreciative of the position that we're in.
All right, Crypto Mike has a question. Is this the United States only, or are you available in Canada?
I love that Crypto Mike asked the question about Canada. So we actually have an office in Canada. Part of our engineering team is there, and we will be expanding in Q3. So now, we just hit start of Q3 yesterday. We will be opening in Canada sometime in the next 3 months. So we definitely will be available soon. And then again, not having a driver network, we can expand internationally faster as well, because that's merely finding the right partner in the different regions we open up into to be able to get deliveries from the restaurants out to the user.
Now, can I ask a quick question regarding this? So just so you guys know, I knew about Devour when they were around like 1,000 to 1,200 restaurants. And I remember you guys came into our VC and we started talking. And I remember I asked you this question. And so I almost want now like an update, and you probably don't even remember this. I said, how are you going to accomplish this? How are you going to go from, 1,000 to 1,200 to millions of, distributors and stuff and things of that nature? And the fact that you're at 70,000 is, the exponential growth is 70x. I mean, if you can have that type of, I mean, when you look at Netflix, you look at all these other industries that disrupted what we call now, what they call disruptive businesses, right? How did you do it? How'd you go from, I mean, 1,200 to 70,000 in literally a year and a half, 2 years? I mean, I just got, it's phenomenal.
Well, and we hope to be at around 125 to 150,000 before the end of this year.
Oh my
The two things there. One, our team is deeply rooted in our background is the restaurant industry, so a lot of relationships within the industry itself. Bringing on brands that have 3,700 locations, 5,000 locations, 10,000 locations. Obviously, you can move the needle there very quickly. And that's upcoming. We also built out some very proprietary software and solution that enabled us to onboard extremely quickly, and so that's enabled in a big way for us to be able to jump on the merchant count. So a lot of technology, a lot of things I know we're not going to get into the weeds on here today, but there's a lot of that, behind the scenes. We phenomenal engineering team, phenomenal team, and we've built some really, really complex and, a lot of it is proprietary on the software and solution that we've built.
I love it. So basically what you're telling me is this part here was almost like going up the hill. Now it's downhill time, and you're going to go from 70,000 to 100,000, if not 1 million, within 2 years from now. Because I mean, your exponential growth here is, man. That's just amazing. That is absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing big things with you guys.
Well, I think some of our viewers are expecting as well, because Chuck Jansen, loyal viewer, says, "I just bought some DPAY." Riding the freight train right now.
Good move, Charles. Good move.
Now what Chuck's going to want to know is this.
Yeah.
Now talk about he's bought it. I'm guessing he's a doctor. He's busy a lot. He's going to use your platform to order something. You have a whole reward section for this and to create that loyalty. Can you give us the basics about your loyalty program and your rewards?
One thing that we felt like was really important, and I'll go back and use myself as an example here. I order from, and I'm kind of have been historically loyal to DoorDash. So I order 6 to 8 times a week delivery. But in all the years I've done that, I'm not treated any differently. I'm not treated special. I don't get engagement. There's nothing that takes me back to the platform unless I'm hungry and want food brought to me. And so we felt like that, especially in introducing the world of with Web3 and what's possible there, that also what's really important is a gamification with loyalty. So our Go VIP is our loyalty program. You can spin a wheel every day and get points. You can order and earn points. You can buy our industry pass. You can buy DPAY, all these, and you can play games. So all these different ways that you can earn points, level up. Every level you earn, an amount of DPAY, but you also earn promotions from our merchants, other prizes, merch, trips. Our top prize in level 11 is $20,000 in ETH within a loot box. So, you earn the loot box, you open that up. So the whole idea of that being able to engage and keep people coming back to an app or a solution. Concept was in that to build it, test it out, get growth, get feedback, and also then make that available to our partners and merchants. We're all looking for ways that we can treat users differently, and how can we use Web3 in that to make that happen. Gamification and then rewarding was one part of that for sure.
Since this is a Web3 application, is the account your wallet and you get an NFT for each level that you are, or is it linked to in the back end just in your systems as where you are in the levels?
So part of it is where part of it goes both ways. So there's a lot within the system that is what we refer to as Web 2.5 versus strictly, Web 3. Right. There is a lot that's decentralized, and there's some that is still centralized. That for mass adoption, we've got to inch, towards that. There are some things every user gets a DeFi or a Web3 wallet. We partnered with Magic as our provider of Devour Go wallets. Everyone gets that. So when we mint, whether that's with our campaigns that we do with merchants or within the Go VIP and loyalty, anytime you get an NFT, that automatically mints to that wallet. Other parts you get rewarded on your account. You can move that on chain if you are a DeFi, a degen, or you can use it straight out of an account. So we've architected it in a way to try to make it less scary for Web2 users who are still just learning about Web3, DeFi Dojo, and part of what you guys do is education. We've got to make that for mass adoption. We've got to make that easy, and yet still have all the bells and whistles.
Right, you got to abstract all that out.
You got it.
The reason I asked that question was because I was wondering if it was a pure Web3, then I could see a market developing for someone to sell their status and sell that NFT to someone else, and a secondary DeFi market based on your statuses. But the 2.5 integration kind of keeps that.
Well, I love where you're going with that, because that is when you think about that Web3, part of it is we own our own data, right? And
right.
we are the brand. Just recorded a podcast this morning where that was part of the theme when it comes to marketing, is that Web3 is we become that brand as the consumer. The idea of that being able to develop your own status from a loyalty, build it up, and then that be something you can pass on to someone else if you decide to sell that, and that part of your history and what you've gotten to, that is no doubt a part of what's possible with the roadmap.
Well, you mentioned that you order 6 to 8 times a week on it, so you would be, other than your role at the company, you're going to be a level up to campaign master there.
I'm a power user.
On the other hand, fun fact here: I have never ordered food for delivery.
Oh, wow.
In the modern, Uber Eats, DoorDash way, pizza,
yeah,
the typical pizza delivery stuff. I've never done it, and I have a feeling it's not going to be long now. It's in fact, it might be on the Devour platform here this evening, because I'm not sure about the Mrs. striking here what she wants for dinner, and since our show started a little later today, I might not be able to prepare it in time. So we might be ordering today.
Quick question.
I love it.
First order. Go ahead, Pedro.
Yeah. So what are the future plans for expanding the use of DPAY, and really where you're really trying to make this? Because obviously it's to keep building the brand that you're using. But I feel like you guys have, and what I'm trying to get here is some hidden alpha here. You can maybe drop here. What do you have for the future? What do you guys got coming down the pipeline?
What keeps DPAY going and going, right? Why is it anything that you should pay attention to? So of course, within the platform, we've talked about some of the use cases, the being able to pay with it, the rewarding that happens within Go VIP. We also have our DPAY back program. So you think, why do some of us use certain credit cards? And it's because it's what ones give us the best rewards, right? So we have our DPAY back program where you can also earn in that way. But more importantly, who else are going to become consumers of DPAY that will need to buy it to be able to reward with that? If you think about restaurants in DoorDash, Uber Eats, no, you said that you haven't ordered from them, but a lot of people probably have, and you see the brands or locations that show up front and center, the promotions they have available, right? Spend 20, get 5, those types of things. Imagine the merchants being able to say, order from us today, and we're going to give you 10% or 20% in your order in DPAY. So they have to buy that DPAY to make that possible. We are all about partnering with gaming publishers and creators of gaming or games, both on Web 2 and Web 3. So also that being able to reward in game and then have perks that enable you to place orders and use that. Again, they've got to become consumers and buyers of the token to be able to do that. So there's a whole flywheel of token demand that is created from that. Part of that comes with scale, right? There's you have to take that in steps. Right. And we're on the early phase of that. But as we continue to expand our strategic partnerships, that's where this, with scale comes this, number every which way that the token is able to be used within the platform.
Wow.
So who else is doing this? Sorry, Pedro, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go. You're about to. You go ahead, please. That was my next question.
There's Uber Eats, there's DoorDash, that the old school companies. Yep. You're the new school company. Who's the newer? Is anyone out adding this Web3 aspect to the delivery industry, or are you first and you're killing it and leaving everyone in your wake?
Here in the U.S., we're definitely first. There are a few companies, I think, around the world that are doing something similar. I haven't been able to find anyone that's doing it at the mass scale or full scale solution that we are. There definitely are some companies and more that you see every day doing things within loyalty only, right? Rewarding, things like that. But the idea of a commerce solution that also is embeddable with strategic partners, so we can power ordering, not just in our app and solution, but with on strategic partners platforms, in game. We right now are standalone. We're trying to build as wide of a moat as we absolutely can. That's important to stay, as out in front as we can. But there will be others that will come. They just haven't yet, and it's a major undertaking, both to build an entire commerce solution from scratch, and also implement and integrate the blockchain and Web3 components of that. Not just something that it's not for the faint of heart, one, no. And it's not just that every company is going to come along and do it.
I guess you brought up a good point here, is the getting to scale and really hitting everybody, and ultimately that leads to a payoff for the everyone that's involved in the rewards programs, the token, but more importantly in the investors. Can you give us some idea of how you funded the startup here, how you got it going? Is it bootstrapped? Did you get some giant VC from San Francisco area? What's your story?
We did it the hardest way possible. Let's bootstrap.
Big sales.
They did. Yes, exactly. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Bootstrap and self-fund for the first year and a half, and in a lot of ways. Some amazing angel investors also that have come in, that have helped along the way on that. There are two sides of it. Obviously, there's the DeFi or the DPAY side. Then there's the company equity. We do traditional fundraising through that. We did our pre-seed round last fall. We'll be doing our upcoming seed round soon. So we have flown under the radar. We did it through self-funding and built during crypto winter, because we wanted to have an actual working platform to then start to do things like getting out on AMA tours like this, sharing the word, right? Spreading it. It's download it, experience it. It's out there. It's a real thing, and really growing from there. So it's a very expensive company to capitalize and to keep going, right? It is not cheap to build this type of technology, but we have gotten to where we are without pulling in big VC money from San Francisco or Silicon Valley or others. And that puts us in a really, really good position, because we have a tremendous amount of upside. So we've done the hard part of getting to where we are now. And the upside then is a lot of green space.
Well, that can be the only good thing. Pedro, you got a last minute question here before we get rolling here?
Yeah, I was just wondering, have you really done any VC looking to get like major funding? Because I remember you guys were kind of like you said, building. You guys were grinding. You guys were using your connections out there, with other major chains here in America. But I'm just wondering,
are they knocking on your door?
Yeah. Listen, I use DoorDash. I use Uber Eats, probably twice a week, if not 3 times a week. So it's one of those things, because I'm always in front of my computer. I don't got time to leave. So it makes it so much easier. Are you guys going to be reaching out to major investors to do this? And are you seeing, this is a 2-point question, forgive me, and Tom hates this. But are you your gamification, are you guys also going to use that in a way to boost this in a way, right? In that advertising, because obviously your competitors aren't doing any gamification, which is, again, Gen Z, that's all they're about. So real interesting.
Yep. So I'm going to work backwards on that, if that's okay. So the
Absolutely.
gamification.
Yeah, and then investments.
Yeah, gamification is an important piece of it. And if you go to Go VIP, the games even that we have in there, version 1, we went some just really simple HTML5 games just to prove the concept that, you know, every how are all the ways that you can earn EXP and level up and do things. As we continue to partner, that, you know, those will continue to advance all the ways that you can earn, and so, you know, there's that side of it from a VC standpoint. And I'm sorry, let me say one more thing on the gamification and promotions. Even so, we have our industry pass. That's our version of the DoorDash Dash Pass or the Uber One program. It's NFT based. You pay zero for standard delivery when you hold that. You also get some monthly DPAY to be able to use or spend within the platform with our merchants. But even right now, throughout the month of July, if you hold one of those, you get every single day $10 off an order if you spend $30 or more. So $30 or more of food put in your cart, you get $10 off, and that's for holding that industry pass. We can trigger that off of any NFT, any contract on EVM or Solana. That's a very, very powerful thing. From a VC standpoint, we have gone more of the angel investor route. Have amazing investors and angels that have come in on that. For sure, seed round, that will be when we start to do or have more relationships with VCs who comes in as a lead. We've also been very strategic in things like partnering with Coinbase for their Coinbase Commerce, putting ourselves in the right place so that as we bring in larger investments or larger partners from the fundraising VC side of it, that we're in the right place at the right time with the right relationship. So that's definitely upcoming, and you'll see more on that over the next couple months.
Wow, that's amazing. It really is.
There is a lot going on here. I think my last question for you comes back down to the education part of it from my perspective. You have a lot going on. And clearly, I mean, the younger generation here understands the multiple aspects of playing a game, having the marketplace to buy things, getting rewards, doing this, and it's all in their psyche and all that. But the masses, you know, you get soccer mom wanting to order food for her child and his 5 friends. It doesn't quite get this. What are you doing? What is the plan to get? I mentioned the word abstraction earlier, and that's the concept of eliminating things so people can make this easier to use. Is there something that you're working on or you see coming down the road in the industry in general that will make a lot of these Web3 products, you know, insanely simple for the average soccer mom to use?
Yeah. So the soccer mom may, though, very well be addicted to Candy Crush, right? Or some other game on their mobile device.
That's very valid point
so,
there.
You know, while there are things straightforward of, hey, I'm going to play this, I'm going to level up, here's what's going to happen. That's a younger demographic. But everyone loves games. 212 million people in the US, so over 65% of the population, play games on a weekly basis. That's an insane,
that's a big
market,
right?
Market share. The other part is you can build a lot of technology. We've built a lot of complex technology, but that isn't the star, right? I love talking about it because I'm a nerd and I love what we've built. But the idea is we have to make that super simple for people to use, where it is not about what's the technology they're interacting with, but what's the experience they can have. And what does that leave them with? Are they entertained? Are they, are they valued? Are they rewarded? Is it simple to use? And that's the important part. I'd say that blockchain technology, whether it's been around for a while now or not, we still are on that tip of the spear. It's early. And so figuring that out of what that looks like to make that very engaging, very fun, and easy to use. We want to be part of that solution. We've done a lot of things within Devour Go for that to be the case, but we still have work to do. And feedback from users is an important part of that as well. So we'll continue to work to be part of that solution.
Well, if you can read here, it says, already destroying the candy game, Chuck says.
Love it. Go. Charles is on it.
This is why we like to do this live, because we get instant
Absolutely.
feedback from it.
Yeah, and that's what's great about it. I'm really excited. It's one of those things, I think, as you guys really start to get moving, you said something that I think is phenomenal. You said we care more about the experience, like your experience of who you are, whereas so many corporate American entities just want you to hurry up and buy and then leave. Whereas when you think about like Starbucks versus Dunkin' Donuts, right? That's what blew Starbucks huge, is that you could come in, you could sit down, they had a fire, or you could hang out. So that experience was, that was like instantly like echoes of Starbucks when they first got started. It was great.
And it's not easy to get that right. Right.
Right.
And we may go through several iterations based on feedback and different things to where that is, sometimes you get lucky and you get it right the very first time. And other times it takes a few iterations. We feel like we're on the right track, but I also always feel like there are so many places we can go. Don't get me started on AR, VR, and just but again, just that creating the experience that is very engaging without it having to be that you're thinking about what you are interacting with. That's the holy grail, and it's hard to accomplish, but we won't give up until we do.
Wow.
I got to say, I'm very rarely do we interview people that have a developed product with users and that's not ready to go, that is going and just needs more eyeballs on it. And Shelly, I'm glad that we were able to help add some eyeballs to it, as compared to Paul's show, who's also involved with your project. We're a lot smaller channel here, but we still help get the word out, and we still bring in some good users here in live form, and Chuck saying this is awesome, and I got 2 DMs from people also saying that they've signed up and ordering as well. So that's good. So
love it. It takes a village, right? And from large to small. I know you've made mention a couple of times, but it takes a village to get it out there. And really appreciate the opportunity to share it with your viewers and listeners.
All right, Shelly, we're looking forward to following up with you a couple of months from now or years from now and checking in, see where you are. If by then you have 6 levels of assistance for us to get through before we speak to you, we'll be really happy if you'd come back on our show then to talk to us.
Love it. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the time. Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, Shelly Rupel. Whoops, I still got the dojo doors there. They were supposed to close and not open on that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to DeFi Dojo for sponsoring that clip for us. Pedro, I thought that went pretty well.
Dude, she was phenomenal, man. Sometimes, it's interesting. You'll see an organization that is phenomenal, but the CEO, you're just like, how did they get there? Right? Or sometimes you see the CEO, but then
we've had some on here.
Right. But then the CEO you watch, right, and they're phenomenal. But then you look at the business, you're like, okay. Like, you're just a great.
Definitely the same enthusiasm as Caitlin Long here about her own company.
Dude,
that was the same. The interviews were very similar in that. So once again, thanks to everybody from the DPAY and Devour community for joining us. I really appreciated you bombing the comments and watching our show. We'd really appreciate it if you come back and watch our show. We have a daily talk show here about crypto, digital assets, everything. And today is what's called Technical Tuesday. And so the second half of this show, while our show is going long today, will be Pedro going over charts. If you're a viewer and want to bring up a chart, just bomb the comments here and we'll talk about it.
And I want to finish this off.
Sure.
She's a complete package. She was a complete package, dude. I mean, like, from what she brought to the table to literally just the business itself, dude. I sat there and I was just like, wow, bro. And I remember them. I remember when they were at 1,000, 1,200, and she was as well polished there. And so it's just interesting to see it all coming together, dude. I think they're I do, man. I mean, I think they're going to explode. I mean, once this bull market really gets going, I'd be shocked if they're under $1 billion, dude.
Well, if we remember, Pedro, what happened in the last bull market, especially with AMC and GameStop, and all that, every college student was involved in that. Yes. That's why it went crazy, because it wasn't just the regular FOMO. I mean, it was. If you saw that movie, I mean, it was. Dude, I remember my son talking about it when he was in university. Like he said, all anyone talks about is AMC, GameStop, SafeMoon, and a bunch of other cryptos that were.
It's gonna be one of them, bro.
Elongate and the other ones that the early pumpers and things like that. If that market happens again and all those people come racing back into it, this is an application just waiting for them.
I can't see it. I can't see it not doing it. I mean, could you? I mean,
all right, let's see. I'm
going to make
up here again.
Yeah, I mean, I sit there and I go, dude, we got to get them to see if we can be one of their sponsors, bro, because it's like, yo, let us, that's something that we got to. Anyways, okay.
We last spoke. What did Bitcoin do here? Did it move? Did it?
No, dude, it did not move. No, but it did. It did go down and then came back up. So it's bouncing off this 8-period moving average. So it all depends. It all depends on what it's going to do here, because we started seeing it. It was down at these lower levels and it bounced up off the 8-period moving average. So it's one of those things that when I'm looking at a chart, right, like I want to see, is it creating lower highs and lower lows, right? So on the daily chart, you guys always see me pull up the daily charts, right? I think it was on Friday we kind of went to the lower levels, right? So here's our 8 daily moving average. Now, when it was coming down here, it was coming down to the lower levels. But then now at the higher standpoint here, like you can see here, or excuse me, on the lower standpoint, we are putting in lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So expect when we come back down into the 200-period moving average, I expect us to see it come back down, go even lower. So for today, I would think that we're probably going to finish off red. And then tomorrow we'll find out what happens, right? But basically, it's going to put a lower high in, which will put in a lower low, and vice versa. So it's kind of how it rolls. You right there?
Yeah, I get it.
That's that old man.
Yeah, that was the old man. Well, fun fact, I turned 56 in 5 days. So
this man is old.
Oh, gee. As I know, when I tell people I worked on the Florida Commodities Exchange in the 80s, they're like, their head just pops right off. They're like, what? They're like, dude, 80s? I was born in the 2000s.
Dude, I think it's just awesome. Because first of all, you don't even look it, man. You don't look like you're in your 70s, man. Definitely not.
What's that? I can't. You
gotta look at the ground. Remember as I'm talking to you. We beat Medicare. Anyways, so what?
Beat
so
Medicare.
It's just gonna be, what? So it all depends on what's gonna happen. I did that. Dude, I gotta admit, dude, that was, I don't know who came up with those stickers, but that was brilliant. Like every time I would sit there and see at the gas station, I would always crack up, dude. And dude, it was probably the most negative press for him. You could only imagine, you know what I'm saying? Like that was a constant reminder to most Americans that and I don't think Trump had really much to do with, gas, except for just, the Canadian, what do they call that? Dude, why am I forgetting what it's called? Oh, dear Lord, forgive me. The pipeline that was running and open
Keystone,
Canada and Mexico. Yeah, it's Keystone Pipeline. Like, right. That in itself probably helped Trump out more than anything, and hurt Biden. Like just the whole entire situation. Like you're just like, dude, because it was a concept of literally, every time you went and filled up your gas, you're like, the old saying, thanks, Obama, right? Dude, that was literally like, dude, like, thanks, Biden, right? Like, it was just, dude, it was, man. Yeah, anyways. So, guys, if you guys have any questions for me, or I'm just going to keep rambling on here about the craziness. I sound like I'm senile old man over here, so, I guess we could go over some of the top 10, see what's going on, and then you guys let me know what you guys
I'm going to run over and get my water that I forgot earlier. I'll be right back.
All right, we'll do so. All right, guys, so let's check out ETH here real quick. ETH is definitely having some fun here. It's definitely consolidating as we're moving down here. We've been playing off of this. What is this? The 4-hour demand zone that I had. I don't know when I drew this, but it. Oh, I think I can say when it was. Settings. I forget exactly. I need to start putting dates over here when I put these lines in, so I can sit there and. But you can see we bounced off of it, and this demand is now basically kind of becoming supply. So I expect to see us maybe come down here to these lower levels here on the 31. If we see a Bitcoin sell off again, we're coming down to that 31, 12-ish area, to the 30, 36 area. It all depends on whether or not we're going to be able to hold above this area right here. We still got a lot of resistance coming in. We got to go through a few of some of these daily demand zones, or excuse me, supply zones here. So these seller wicks here could definitely act as resistance, where it would then pull back to another level. So it all just depends on what it's going to do here, but it's going to have a hard time pushing through. But as we look at here on the weekly, you can see that we've been playing off of the weekly zone here, or the weekly moving averages, which is basically sitting at that 50 or 35, 39-ish area down to this 34, 33. Now this is the weekly, so you can see we went up first to go down, and so that kind of is a good process that would let us know what's actually happening in the market here, of it continuing down into these lower areas. If you look, we just started the month here, but you can see here our 8-period moving average is sitting at this lower level as well. So something that I would be paying attention to at these levels here. Let's check out BNB here. BNB is sitting at these really unique. It was literally fighting against the market here, but you can see that the institutions definitely did step in and push it down even further. I mean, if you look at this amount of volume here at this levels, while them pushing it, I expected this to continue up, and the fact that it didn't, it was kind of shocking to me. And now we're just kind of at this level here. If this does not hold here at this level, which I don't expect it will, I expect it to come back down to that 505-ish area, and then this is going to be really key, because by the time it makes down here, I want to see if this 200-period moving average will be sitting at these levels here of that 505-ish area. So it's going to be really interesting for me to wait and see. I hope, honestly, I picked up some BNB at these lower levels, but I should have picked up a lot more, because I was expecting it to come down to that 135-ish area. So, I mean, I wasn't bad, but, I'm buying it on a central exchange. So it's not like I'm going to sit there and short it, which kind of makes me mad. I wish we could fully short. Wait, we will sooner or later be able to do that. Why? Because of Bitfinex.
Bitfinex?
Oh.
Who's Bitfinex?
Oh, not Bitfinex. I messed it up.
Wah, wah, wah. Bitfire, ladies and gentlemen, the newest sponsor of DYOR Live. Ladies and gentlemen, Bitfire, where you can trade all day, every day, and enjoy bonuses of up to $2,800 for signing up a new account and trading and hitting all their goals for trading. And if you don't do it, you're a chumbalone like the rest of us. Don't be a chumbalone, ladies and gentlemen. Sign up for Bitfire. Like how I dug you out of that one there?
I think you did, dude. That was you can use it, and then you can use that little mess up for almost as a play. All right, so we could see this come down to the 505-ish area. If it does not hold here, if it does come down here, I don't think it's going to hold. I do expect to see this come down to a further low of about 14.14. This may hold like a pause, but that 14.14. But the other part behind it is, and let me bring this up. At this level here on the monthly, we are sitting at that. We have the month. Oh, feedback. I'm getting myself talking.
Sorry about that.
There you go. That's all right. Sitting at that 493-ish area because of the monthly 8-period moving average. That looks like a strong moving average. So this is where we could be playing here. It could sell off and then come back up and close at the end of the month here on BNB. But so it would tap, it would get these sellers here, or these, it would stop out everybody here and come and get the buyers sitting at this lower level here and then push back up. So something that potentially we could see here towards the end of the month. So it'll be really interesting. Let's check out XRP. XRP is looking the same. Shocking.
I can't believe it, Pedro. I just
These guys are hilarious.
the XRP community is going to track you down and tar and feather you.
Shocking. Yes. Things happen, man. I mean, but just remember, everybody gives their own opinion. That's why this great American thing called free speech, is a good thing. Anyhows, so yeah, XRP is just looking just as it normally does. It's just kind of going sideways here, staying in between that 66,000 area down to the 40,000 area. You can see it's played between these levels for the majority of the period right here. So I expect us really not to really do much here. We'll see. They need to come out some really good fundamental news, but I expect.
That's a good one.
There you go. But I mean, we'll see. Hopefully that they can sit there and go, "See, told you," and I'll be like, "Dope." Well, at least now my bag has some money up in it, Like,
man, they'll bring out some good news. It'll
sell
anything other than related to the lawsuit, and people will go, "Okay, yeah, that's not really that big." We just got the country of Bolivia to their central bank to switch to a Ripple blockchain ledger system, whatever, blah 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 blah. Big win, gonna be blah 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 blah, and it'll sell off.
Yes, and why? Because all the chumbalones are sitting there buying, and then the very people who shouldn't be. See, there's literally got to come some regulation against things like this. Like, you got to, because when you have major executives and other organizations that are top in the organization selling off against their own investors, that's just wrong. This is where the law needs to be enacted, right? To come against situations like this,
Well, I mean, I obviously totally agree with you on that, and they should. They're starting to. I mean, like I say, the new MiCA rules in Europe are changing everything. And I'll tell you what. Let's pause that conversation. Let's stick with Technical Tuesday, and I'll in the demo, I'll show you the first white paper under the new MiCA laws that's compliant with the European specifications, and you'll note the massive difference coming to crypto. But anyway. I'll set that up in the background while you're doing your thing.
I love it. All right, so let's check out Cardano here. ADA's looking strong here, man. The only issue is we didn't put any. So come at the beginning of the month here, and it was funny. I heard Zach today. They were at the end of the show. They were talking about Cardano, and I almost wanted to be like, "Wait, don't just wait,"
yeah,
because
they're definitely Cardano
holders.
Friendly there. I mean, there's a lot of Cardano believing in it, which is good. There's a lot of good stuff coming out with Cardano. As much as you complain about them, they've been doing a lot of investment. But what you're telling us, Pedro, is that if you're looking at the short-term chart, now's not a good time to buy.
It is not a good time to buy. The only reason why I say that is simply because this area here is an area that is potentially going to be weak from a higher time frame chart. So for me, I personally think that we're going to probably be coming back down here. Now, it all depends. If this continues, okay, then I would expect it to at least hit the 48 to 52-ish area here. So I already put this here, but I think it's plausible that it might continue up. But I think it will probably. It all depends if let me just put this in, dude, because this is important. Let's go ahead and we'll put this right here in the monthly. And because the reason why I say this is it's got to hit a resistance level, come back down, put a higher low in. That higher low is going to be really important, right? Because it basically just simplifies, hey, there's real buyers that are stepping in here. So I need a buyer wick. I need a demand wick that would communicate to me that buyers have stepped in, and now we're going to see a defense against the sellers as we push up. So it's one of those things. Where are we at? Monthly supply, excuse me. This is a monthly supply-ish area. So this area here is, we could come back up here to that 51, like 48 area here, and potentially see it kind of sell off again, and test these lows potentially, if not go lower, because this would put in a lower high, and then we would put in another lower low down here. So this is why I'm a little bit hesitant, because we have not had any lower highs, or why do I keep saying lower highs? Higher lows. So this is why I'm a little bit like timid to sit there and say, oh, it's going to the moon, right? Like, because the reality is it hasn't put in the correct amount of structure for it to continue up. So we're going to be I think it's really interesting to sit there and see. I guess if we're looking at things at the larger time frame, it could, because we came down, came up, and this could be that low, but you would want to see a demand wick. So it's something that you'd want to see on this, where it comes down first to go up versus go up first to go down. So it's just one of those things I expect to see it definitely move in a different light. Go ahead. Did you have the thing set up for the Michaelos?
Yes. Just for those of you that are actually still watching, and for those of you that are still watching and paying attention, I know it's a tough combination. You hear me talk about Micah a lot, and you're going to hear me talk about it more because there's a small revolution starting to happen. That are going to lose, saying that crypto projects have to essentially have the same basic filings and disclosures as the stock market, and I don't mean like super in-depth things like your management discussions and all these types of things and SEC S1s and that type of stuff. But it's got to have the basics and follow some basic rules. And the new Markets in Crypto Act, I might not even be saying that, in Crypto Assets Act for the European Union, brings about some important changes into everyday life for crypto. No more in Europe. It started today. I'm sorry. It starts to begin this month, the other day, yesterday. In effect, for stable coins and any other coins that are determined to be money-enabling payments or something like that, and which you essentially use for payments, like XRP, Stellar, these types of things. And then at the end of the year, all crypto has to abide by this. And let me make sure I can get this up right here. Put my screen on. And it just so happens to be our sponsor, Audit Chain. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Could you have predicted this at all?
Oh, that's funny. Mike, yeah, it is called the Market in Crypto Assets Regulation, Micah.
Okay. Micah. And anyway, the basic summary is that you have to disclose everything about your project prior to launch, including, who made the project. It has to do a white paper. Who's selling it has to do a white paper, if different from who made it, and who's trading it. Like if an exchange lists it, the exchange has to also be part of this. And so this, you think of all the white papers you have seen, and it's always moon roadmap, about us, neat graphics, here, there, this type of stuff, tokenomics. Here it's one that came out yesterday by Audit Chain Labs about their Pacioli MiCA compliance tool, in which they've actually done their white paper on themselves to demonstrate how the system works. Now it says here it's only 12 pages long, but I want you to see the size of the pages. But anyway, let's go through the sections here real quick. The table of contents, general information about the offer, information about the issuer, information about the operator, about the crypto asset project, about the offer to the public, about crypto assets, rights and obligations of everybody, information on the underlying technology, and information on risks. All these parts are the important parts of this. And and you have, in fact, it's changing the way that I talk about audit chain, because I can only mention things that are in this white paper. If you're in a crypto project now, and everything is not in your white paper, and you say, oh, we've got a little bit different way of marketing this, or some new features, you have to issue a new white paper, or a new white paper here, because the white paper is the basics, especially in Europe where they have 29 languages or some bullshit like that, that they have to, put these things in. So it's important that everything's disclosed in writing. And this document goes on and on. Summary, tokens, definitions, the name, legal entity, registration numbers, all these things, undoxed pump fund stuff, not allowed in Europe anymore. Well, as of the end of this year. Your little token that's not fully registered somewhere in a real company or a real entity, not allowed in Europe. And they're taking the same view as the SEC. Their lawyer said, well, we're not just doing this, but if you don't just sell in Europe, it's no big deal. They're saying if any one of the European citizens ends up with this in their wallet, just like the SEC says, if your investment ends up in an American's hands, you got to register with the SEC. But the whole management team, resumes, real names, no freaking doxed pictures and weird PFPs or anything like that. All this stuff, we're going at. This is note the length of each page here. These 12 pages are actually 56 printed pages for a white paper, which is amazing. Executive summaries, descriptions about the products, all these developments, future milestones, is some of the basics. Use of proceeds, like how you're going to use it, and it's got to be right, because if you'd use the proceeds differently than how you claim in here, you've just broken the law in Europe. And so if someone says, bro, let's take some of the money that we raised and use it for that, is it in the white paper? Nope. Disclosure crypto coming at us saying, look at the Gari network. Well, we're talking about disclosures right now. Pedro will be back in a few minutes to talk about that. Summary of the note offerings and blah, blah, blah. This goes on. My finger is actually getting tired here, scrolling the wheel here. Goes on. I know you're bored to tears watching this go by, but this is the reality for crypto projects going forward in Europe and in the UAE, and likely in other markets too, before it eventually comes to the US. I have to imagine that any future bill going forward will have something like this in the United States. Note, I'm still scrolling here. Got all the way to the end. One of the things was there are risks mining it. There's breakthroughs, field of computer science, private network, blah. There's a really good risk here. Let's see, implementation. Okay, this one here, this risk, this is how thorough audit chain is. They come out and say certain crypto market participants have unrealistic expectations, and they can spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt that could impact the value of the audit chain token. And they go in and talk about that. They actually disclose that there might be louder voices that are fudding the project and cause the price to go down a lot. They just come out and say it. Anyway, but the good thing about this is what we're looking at is the human readable form. This is actually in a machine readable form in XBRL, which is a form of XML. XML is what powers your Word documents, your PowerPoint documents, and all that type of stuff, and millions of other things on the internet. But this is the human readable form, and because it's machine readable, computers can ingest this stuff easily and categorize everything very well, and save on the time. That kind of stuff. That's how it's going. That's where it's going. And Audit Chain is the first company in Europe to develop this, and the only one even close. I got to imagine other people are like, well, we got to figure this out. And this is why we talked about their initial node offering, and I mentioned that on the air a while ago. And then all of a sudden we went quiet about it. It's because MiCA was coming into effect, and they're like, wait a minute, we need to redo our legal, and we need to issue our white paper, and then we can go back to talking about the node offering and get our project launched properly. And so here we are. If you are a project that has exposure to the European market, which is almost everyone, you're going to need a white paper. Come talk to me. I'm the guy. Actually, I'm not the guy. Jason Myers at Audit Chain is the guy. He's the lead architect with them. Come to me. and I'll put you in touch with him in order for you to get a white paper and to become completely legal, including if you're a stablecoin provider. Tether, if you're listening, we can do it for you guys too. USDC, Circle, we can do it for you. That's a big claim, isn't it? Anyway, Pedro, I'm done with my my long advertising thing that I can hopefully clip out and use there. And Pedro's either on mute or using the facility.
Yeah. No, it's all
there.
good. Here I am, rocking like a hurricane.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Here I am. Oh,
LeBron
snap.
James in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
What up, Drano?
Drano, what'd you
good.
do today to get mainnet Z's price higher, huh?
Dang,
Just
bro.
lay it right out on the line. Thanks for joining
Lay
us.
it.
We had a good show today. Go back and watch lots of it.
By the way, glad to have you back, brother. It is good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Jumping back in real quick. Also, did we give Dr. Charles and Mike, or Crypto Mike, their intros?
We did for Crypto Mike. We did not for Dr. Charles here.
You using the whole fist doc?
Oh, I got an echo. Joy.
Nice. It's absolutely nice.
Why do I have an echo?
Australian accent.
You using the whole fist doc?
We're giving it triple time now. Oh yeah. 100. All right. So looking at Gary here, I think I got the correct one here. Hopefully I'm right. Truth is they're coming down to their probably lows here on Gary. Not much to say. It's below all the moving averages. You just gotta want to wait until it kind of finds a support area. We could say this is the support, right? Which is basically the monthly moving average or the monthly demand zone here. But it's just
Chuck says busy playing this candy game. ADHD mode engaged.
Yo, I gotta admit, man, I'm all about like absolutely, man. Like those little game things, dude. I've spent hours on end getting distracted with them, man. Like it's so bad. Anyways,
Gary Network. Disclosure, what's happening? Thanks for joining us again.
what's up, man? It's good to have you. Yeah, we're down at the lower levels, man. I mean, the only thing I can tell you, and it's got a lot of resistance against it. So we got a hard climb up, man. Real hard climb up.
I forget what the Gary Network does. Do you remember, Pedro?
I do not. I could figure it out here though, real quick. They've been around since May of 22, so it looks like they're doing good. The market cap is 1.5 mil. Liquidity sitting at 58,000, which isn't really that good, but
Oops.
you know,
That's too loud, sorry.
it is one of those ones that, you know, you never know. This one could pop. But it did have a hard climb. You've got a lot of resistance already. This one in particular, like we're gonna see how this rolls here, but just these are kind of 5 million and that much of a liquidity. It's just one of those things that I can't see people sitting there and like wanting to get in on this project unless they really put some more in the liquidity. I guess it's 1%, which is, I guess, for type of system it could be, but I just Gary project in crypto.
Oh, Drano, please feed us the alpha. Please give us some hope. Give us some hope. Please, for the love of God, give us some hope. My mainnet Z and my Pepsi are all chump change compared to where Pedro and I got in here.
Painful.
Anyway, I hope all is going well with you, Drano.
Yeah,
Thanks
man,
for
most
tuning in
def.
again. Being a loyal viewer, really appreciate it. Devour cross-chain to mainnet C. I think that's getting a little optimistic.
Did that? I swear, man, I can't imagine. It's definitely one of those things. All right, so the Gary Network is a cryptocurrency project that is closely tied to Chingari app, which is a popular short form video app in India. Here are some key
right. I
points
remember now.
about
Right.
the Gary Network. Gary token. Gary is the
It's
native.
TikTok for India, right?
Oh yeah,
But
I
it's
do
not TikTok for India. It's wannabe TikTok for India. If it was TikTok for India, it'd have 1.6 billion users.
Yeah, but I mean, at this lower level, dude, I mean, get hurt just to throw in $50.
That's what
I
they
mean,
said.
even
That's what a bunch of people said, and now it's worth $1.
$20 here, though, man. I mean, if this thing goes to all-time high again, it's at 1 cent, and its all-time high was 8 cents and 9 cents. Why? What was their fail? Why did they fall?
I'm guessing the old story that insiders took some money. That's my bet.
I mean, they got all the way up to literally $1, bro, or 87 cents. That's where they started. So now they're at 1 cent ish. What is? Oh yeah, 1.12. Yeah. Real interesting. Interesting. Yeah, they're at 1 cent and they were at 89 cents. Man, they fell so hard. Man, that just hurts. And
Yep.
it's such high hopes, dude. How much money did it go up to?
You got it all behind me here.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Yep.
So they got
It was a big
literally,
loss.
oh my goodness, bro. 88 cents now down to 1 cent.
Well, see this
Ooh.
here. This is look. There's no. It didn't come from much lower in this level, then boom, and then come back down. It launched much higher, and everyone dumped, which means that there was a massive insiders that got it cheaper, right? What are the other alternatives there?
Man, it's sad. Like, that's a big dude. Look at that big. Look at that amount of volume, bro. They just empty the liquidity pool. They just. I wonder what the peak on liquidity was.
Disclosure: if you're listening, tell us why you're still in the project. Just on a hope and a whim it comes back, or did you buy in low and just looking forward to move? Where'd you get in there? Let us know.
What? Highest liquidity. I just want to know what the highest liquidity was. The Gary Network token reached its all-time high price at 98 cents. Oh wow. Please note that crypto. But give me the liquidity. Whatever. If the liquidity was that, then it would be almost a 100, or what was that? It was a $1 billion project.
Ray, thank you for watching on X. Bullish as F on DPAY Devour Go. Thanks, Ray. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for real, man. I mean, I can understand why. And I remember them when they first got started, man. And I literally, when they said they only had like 1,000, 1,200, I remember sitting there going like, man, that is a tall order. What they're asking, what they're trying to do. And dude, just to watch them grow from what they've done, dude, it's just a matter of time before somebody's gonna sit there and go, Uber, DoorDash, Airbnb. Like, it's just a matter of time, like it's kind of crazy. And then that money's gonna come crashing or coming in. And then we're like, oh dang, we're big deals. Like, oh yeah, we're big deals. just like that too. Anyways, yeah, I honestly don't see much here. If you're looking to get in on Gary, this would be the area that you'd want to get in.
I think people are
You
looking
could
to
pick-
get out.
Yeah, I mean, but he asked me. Also, these lower levels here, there's another you could, right here if you wanted to. Down at this lower level at the daily chart, right? Like this is to shore up your, basically from 009 to 0081, 0096 to 0081 would be the area that you want to look at. This area right here.
That sounds like just the beginning, when you do that at the beginning of one of my favorite Moby songs.
It's like the most classic, like, beatbox, like, beat.
I gotta go find that song now. It's bugging me.
Dude, all I'm doing is I'm just beating to the to the song you have playing right now.
Daryl says, shh.
Yeah. Here we are. All right. So this is it. Let's jump back to the top. Check out Ton. Ton is killing it, dude. Ton is like, I mean, just look at him, dude. They pushed out, and look, dude, they're just, they're massive, dude. Like they are a massive group, man. Like if there was,
Keeps going.
yeah, I mean, it just keeps going, dude. Yes, volume is selling off, but look, man, they're pushing up. If they keep pushing up, you want to go long. So I mean, yeah, and it's not going to be long before these guys are the top coin, man. It's the way they keep going. It's kind of crazy. If you're going to want to get a pullback on Ton, you want to wait until we get above the. I mean, obviously we're in this range area. You want to catch the low down here at $4 if you can. You know what I'm saying? This was the area here, so you would expect it to come down to that $4 or $5 area. Let's check out Solana. Solana's pumping here. Again, this one is a little bit different, just simply because we are going up first for the week. So I'd expect to see it kind of come down. On top of that, we have the 80, or we have the 8 and 20 here. So I expect to see this act as some type of resistance until we come back and put that seller wick or that buyer wick in.
Still quite volatile there, Solana.
Yeah, it is, dude. Like it's been pretty volatile. It's a good word. But the key though here is that again, I'm expecting us to come back down to this lower level here, simply because I don't see a lot of demand wicks, a lot of buyer wicks coming in. So I'd expect to see it kind of come down to put in another big buyer wick to push it back up. But again, I'm still looking at that 92 area.
All right.
Similar situation with Litecoin going up to go down. We didn't put any major demand wick here, so I would expect that. See it kind of come down. Tron is another strong one here. Came in, kind of pushed through this area.
What's
Now it
Tron's,
put higher.
ticker? TRX?
Yep, TRX. But it's real interesting. Tron is hitting that supply area and pushing through. No demand wicks, so it screams to me that it wants to retrace, pulling all these stops and then expecting it to go back down. But if it continues, it's saying, potentially the next spot is that 14-cent area from the 12-cent area. But if this does not hold, then expected to see it come down to the 10-ish area. So 10.9 to, I would say, 1105-ish area. Alrighty, here we go. Matic.
Matic, please help me. Help me with life, Matic.
Potentially could go up.
Turn it. Was that the daily?
Yep, it's daily.
Turning.
Yeah, went down a little to go back up. That's a good sign.
Oh God, people took a lot of money out of that project. Wow.
Oh yeah, but I mean it's Poly. Nice little pump.
I don't know how Poly. What did they do to blow it? I don't know. Let me rephrase that. They didn't blow it. They just didn't. They rode the small wave, or rode when surfing. They got the wave, and instead of riding that curl out as long as they could, they just said, "Oh, we got the wave," and then dumped it, waiting for the next wave. They're just all these other chains exist because these level 2 chains and even other level 1 chains exist because Matic or Poly didn't do something. They didn't innovate fast enough. They didn't allow development on the chain fast enough. They didn't bring in pump meme coins and throw money into grants behind them. There's all these things they didn't do that other chains said, let's do it. Blast said, we don't care what happens on our chain. We're going to throw money at meme coins and all sorts. Anyone who wants to start on Blast, come on, we'll help you set up a DEX. They literally they went from 0 to a bazillion in 6 hours. And Matic's like, that cricket sound. And I don't get it. I mean, obviously lots of institution stuff, a lot of projects with actual utility, and right now the markets hate utility. It's like, oh, utility. Oh, that's only going to give me 5x. I want meme coins and 1000x.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and so it's like their marketing department got complacent. They're like, well, we got 600 million or 10 billion or whatever it is in the bank. Let's just see where this thing goes.
I mean, you could put that in treasuries and literally make, maybe
5 they are. Maybe they're like, this blockchain doesn't generate, with our low fees, doesn't generate much money, but we're making 5% bitches on the treasuries.
Yeah, and when you think about some of these projects have, literally, dude, I mean, just look literally at BNB. BNB has $70+ billion in cash. I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you put that, dude? And there's only one market in the world that can actually handle that amount, and it's called the treasuries.
I know. There's a Binance risk manager who works 1 minute a week. That's all he does. Is he calls up the investment desk. He's like, yo, bros.
Treasury bill.
Yeah, he said, where you put that shit? Boss, we put it in T-bills. All right, I'll check in next week. And that's it.
That's it.
They got they're earning 5% on 77 billion.
I mean, it's just nuts. And the best part behind it is, America. I mean, it's sitting there. The U.S. dollar is like for example, we're starting to get. You can see we went from here to up here. Now it doesn't seem like a lot, but in currencies, because a lot of the other currencies are falling apart, like Japan and a few of the other ones, it's really hurting a lot of the places around the world. So this currency push up would exasperate it big time. So if people are going to put their money, right, they want to put in dollars because they're receiving more benefit, security, but also with that, you can turn that and put it into a 1-month bond or note, excuse me. Where are you at? Here you are. Right? We talked about this a couple weeks ago, which I was a little concerned. How I was like, oh, we just saw a major sell-off here, right? Which seemed like a lot, but this right here is a pretty big, decent move when you consider the fact that we haven't fallen below 5.35, right? And this came all the way down to 5.28, but we came back up, so it's really interesting. I wonder if this was BNB coming and buying it, you know, so that they could actually hold that price tag. So I just think it's really interesting to be able to just put your money and earn $5 or 5.38%, right? Just to chill, and one of the most secure avenues in the world, basically backed by the U.S. taxpayers. It's really funny.
It'd be
It's
funny to
crazy.
see if Tether, Binance or Tether's also got $100 billion in treasuries or whatever it is. That a bunch of them are coming up for renewal and or to swap out into a different period, and they said, no, we're not going to do treasuries. We're going to go into BlackRock's ETF.
Dude. Oh,
which
dude,
would probably start funding the infinite money machine again, because
it will.
it would pump their
Bags,
their
and then
bags
they
a
will
lot.
buy
They
more.
own Bitcoin too. Pump their
Yeah.
bags. People would deposit more money. They don't have to print Tether. If people deposit more money and they got cash on hand, they can just issue it. Infinite money machine all over again, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I got the infinite negative money machine. Like bills, gonna earn some money, bills.
Negative.
No, I'm just saying that I'm not being negative. I'm just saying the money goes out negative. It doesn't come
Yeah.
positive. It comes positive in short spurts here, but not, due to the infinite money machine, which just keeps going.
Matter of time, we will. It's gonna happen. I mean, I can't see it not.
Apparently,
I
we
can
have someone
see-
smoking crack here. Pedro, we need an intervention here. Hold on,
Well,
hold on.
I can see.
I'm not gonna do this right because I don't have my microphone, but I'm gonna pretend. 1 out of 12. 1 out of 12. I wish I had my mic going, but we don't. All right, police mic. We need an intervention here on Drano. Drano is calling NetZ at $500. A NetZ. It's currently at 0.006.
What would that be? Okay, 500. That'd be 0. That would be 6 zeros.
No, 2 zeros and 6. 0.006 of a cent.
Oh my god! So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 zeros that we would actually put on if it was to get 5. No, 5 zeros.
No, to go
It
to
would be
500 from 0.126. Yeah, you'd need 1, 2, 3, 4. You need 5 zeros.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Hey, it's 10,000.
Basic.
10,000.
Yeah,
That's
10,000
10,000%. It's infinity percent. It's 10,000x.
yeah. That's like Bitcoin when it first started to right now.
Well, true. All right, let's talk a little bit about Drano here. Let's talk about mainnet Z. In fact, Pedro, why don't you try and find a chart for them all? Drano, what I want to know is that there's a lot of new projects, things being announced on mainnet Z all the time, and the price goes down each time. Everyone says, just wait for this, let's wait for this. Let me put. Do you have NetZ up there?
Yes,
All
sir.
right, I'm gonna put the logo up here, or not the logo, but we're gonna wait for this, and this will come out, and nothing ever happened. Why doesn't this update? Come on, guys. I updated it. It should update here.
Oh.
Why did that not update?
Your high frequency, man. There it is. I just saw it go through.
There we go. All right. And so it came down from 15 cents to 0.006 of a cent. So our value of our holdings went essentially to zero. Down by a lot. Now there's a new marketplace coming out. The marketplace, everyone's saying the marketplace is going to do it. I hear it on the spaces. I hear it in the community room. And we've got Drano here talking about it coming. The question is, what is the marketplace going to sell? I mean, if it sells illegal guns, crack, prostitution, human trafficking, the thing will go crazy. I mean, Silk Road 3. But if it's selling just Zinyu things, people can already trade Zinyu things. What's going to make the price go bonkers? That's what I want to know. Let's see. The reason price is down because everyone's buying from the OTC at the market at the moment. Well, ultimately, that's I don't know if I believe that or not. I mean, that's just exchanging it. I mean, the price price goes up and down based on the total value locked. And so if people if they use Zodiac swap and I sell $100 worth, price goes down. But then Pedro comes in and buys $100 worth, the price goes up. If Pedro and I and the price is where it was. If Pedro and I get together and just say, oh, let's use an OTC and avoid the contract, same thing happens. The price stays the same where it is. So not sure I believe that or not. Sure, there's some nuance to that, but you got to think that the developers would be like, screw this OTC thing. let's get that price up so people stop fleeing away, because it's very thinly traded right now, and in the market there's not much liquidity in it. A good example is our poor friend AI Wolf had his wallet hacked. Actually had his phone hacked, and he lost everything in his, not just crypto, but in the banking world and everything. Got hammered. And they sold off Pepsi, or the Pepe and mainnet Z, immediately. Then took the mainnet Z, sold that, and bridged it out, took it out of the chain. And just that little amount, it was about $1,200, $2,400 worth, something like that. The sell on the Pepsi and then the sell in NetZ and taking it off reduced the value of Pepsi by half, because and there's $200,000 of liquidity in it, or something a lot like that. And it took the price down by dropping the price of Pepsi and then dropping the price of the token underneath it by a lot. And Pedro, if you bring up your chart a little bit more, so I can see the expanded. I don't know what the right term is, so I can see the trading better. Yeah, do that. What is that? The daily?
Yeah, it's a daily.
Yeah, the last big red candle, the second over a little bit more, is where one of those big ones there is where Wolf got hacked right there. I think it's the biggest red candle there. The first sale, it came in stages. It's just not capitalized enough. People have taken too much money out. People have used too much of their NetZ money to develop new things. You gotta stop developing new things. Focus on one good one and market it and get people over to use the project. Anyway, I obviously I'm not an insider there. I don't know everything that's going on. I'm just looking at it from a chart perspective, and it's made me very happy.
I just see these. I see this big green one that potentially went all the way up to, 2 cents. 2 cents, 4 thousandths or 400ths of a cent. And I'm like, wow. And it literally was all the way down at, 0.006 area. So it's just kind of.
I think that was a big exchange trade. Like one of the exchanges they're on has almost no liquidity. So someone bought, $500 worth, and it jacked the price. And then the ARB bots quickly, tried to equalize it and quickly realized that's not possible, and brought it back down. I think that's what they were talking about, what that was. But I don't know. It's impossible to tell what the liquidity is on exchanges.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's like one of the biggest things we just don't know.
Right, Drano. I see OTCs doesn't show in volume, and it's not through Zodiac swap. I know. So it's not doing anyone any good, right? It's not helping the situation out. You need volume. People want to see volume. People want to see the chart go up. And remember, OTC, is, they've even though it's, Pedro, in this way, it's not just me selling to you OTC. They're using, bringing in people from other chains and using over the counter. They've still set aside a pile of tokens to use as the buyer. So, or as the seller. And so it's still they need a proper bridge. Bring the money in, bridge it, FOMO it, moon it. Let's go. That's my bitch for today. But I'm sticking with them. They're going to do it. They're going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. I know it. Less hype, more marketing. And I got to tell you, the mainnet Z guys, you know where they need to go? They need to get on Zach's show. For free. Zach does not charge. You think, these guys charge a ton of money. Zach just wants alpha. Let the community know. Zach Humphreys, get on his show. It's free. Just go talk about your project. Anyway, Pedro, we're getting long in the tooth here. Let's go through the last couple
Yeah.
things here.
Yes.
Okay, hold on. Drano, I'll give you a break. I'm sorry. Every once in a while, I got to say these things so they get in the YouTube algorithm and stuff. But yes, I'll give you a break. Like I said, I know good things are coming. They just got to focus on that marketing aspect. And remember that the chart is your number one marketing thing, no matter what you say. Marketplace, meme coins, whatever. If the chart doesn't look good, no one's coming. They're not. You got to buy your own chart if you have to. Thank you very much for coming today. All right, what you got next, Pedro?
30-year bond. Bonds are pushing up, or excuse me, 30-year yield, not 30-year bond yields. Powell talked today, which is really interesting. He didn't really talk about rates. And as I was in my trading group, and it was really interesting to sit there as we were talking. George Gammon overly exaggerated the movement of the bond yields yesterday. And actually, I went to go look at him because he did this YouTube channel, post. So I went to go look, and I was like, bro,
We'll get to that in just a minute there.
You should have talked about Friday. This Saturday, so I was sitting there, and but it's interesting to see yields going up again, right? After the sell-off of the last month, right? Because I expected us to go up, right? Back here, went up, came back down, but now it's starting to get above here, and they put a higher high in. It's going to be really interesting if they put in a lower high in. So we all know that bonds are important because you have the ability to poop in clean water here in America, but also it actually helps stabilize a lot of people's jobs, money, stuff like that for major corporations. And so that helps bring you in money. Boom. What was I going to say? DOT. That's what it is. DOT. I am so ticked. I was like waiting for this team to come down, dude. I barely tapped. And then I was like, all right, I'll get in. I got a little, but I wanted to catch this lower level. And I think I get too greedy. I want to go down a little bit further in my area. So it's looking like this is starting to get tough. The only problem is that, again, it did not put any demand wake. So I'm expecting it to go up, to go down. How far will it go up? We've got a couple places here. Get the monthly area sitting between $6 and $7.36. And or we got this current 8-period moving average sitting right above us at 648. So this could be the little turning point from here. Tomorrow we could finish up around this area, and then tomorrow gap up, hit this 8, and then see it sell off to go down even further and come down to my zone so I can buy DOT. And or we could see it go through this and go and tap the $7 or 768 area on the 20 period on the weekly. You can see here on the daily, it's really starting to follow that 8-period moving average. So this is where I am just a little bit timid, just simply because looking at this, ultimately, I think we're going to go down. So I sit there and go, is it going to be the 50-period moving average, or is it going to be the 89? So there is this zone sitting right here. And we'll do it again here. So potentially we could see another turnaround short here at the 692 to 674 area. This could be nice, potentially playing off this area. Boom, pop it, seeing a sell-off to go to lower low. So we'll see what happens. But that's honestly what I'm expecting to see, is hit this area and then see a sell-off, and basically being at 692 to 674 area, where you have higher time frame SMA sitting in the same zone. So we'll see what's up.
You know what? We've got from Troublesome Creek here asking. We didn't go over this on the interview earlier, Troublesome, with DPAY, because the chart was not really a central tenet to the conversation, and also didn't look very pretty. But how about we look at the DPAY chart here? Yeah,
honestly, they're sitting actually at a demand zone as we speak right now. So this area right here, I do like as a buy area. So we can, on the daily chart, also this lower level here, sitting at the 003 area. So Chuck, you definitely got in an area potentially where we could see it, kind of turn around and push up. So there are a few areas that I like. I like that 005587. down to the 005130 or 5130 to 5587 ish area, and then the next one is down at that 3283 ish area right here, which was the previous kind of hold, kind of exploded up and then held and then really did a crazy pump, really where it did a 10x. So it's kind of crazy to sit there and see that. But so I like this area right here that we're actually sitting at. I almost want to be like, let's buy some of that, man. I mean, at this level, they'll throw in like maybe like 20-30 bucks, and then at the lower level capture. Because I mean, and I'll put it like this, man, at 12,000 market cap, this thing has the potential, man, to literally, I mean, do at least, I mean, in all reality, right? They have no competitors. They're now just starting to get steam and going, man. I mean, right now between 12 million, I just don't see them. You know, even if this was to go down to 100,000, I still think that'd be a great investment, because ultimately, like, once it starts to get steam, dude, you're cooking with fire then. So I don't know. I think this is a good play, regardless of it.
A good play. Well, if they get all these users that they say they're going to get, that's obviously going to drive the chart. Troublesome asks, he says DPAY Sol is an even worse chart. Yeah, well. Troublesome asks, he couldn't find anything about the tokenomics. I don't think they have any tokenomics. I think it's a 0-0, if I recall. In that they mint...
No, you're given. So when you pay for something using them, you part of you paying for it is you get some portions of the token. So
yeah, but it's like, I think it's cash back. I don't think they're minting token. I think if you pay $100, part of the fees they charge, they just rebate back to you in the DPAY token. I don't think anything's created. I guess you could call that tax. I mean, there's service charges. There's still, well, they don't have a delay. I don't know. That's a good question. It's a good question, Troublesome. No, I had unlimited tokens play. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if it's a Dogecoin.
No, I don't think they have an unlimited. Let me pull up their white paper. I remember, because I asked the same thing years ago, and there was a certain amount of coin. Actually, I should be able to see this. Devour.
Taskbar is failing.
Yeah, you can go to their white paper here and read through it. I just went to CoinMarketCap, put Devour in, and then their white paper is right here. I don't think they have tokenomics. Where's the tokenomics? Mission. Are we about to crash?
No, not the normal way. Just my taskbar isn't working, so it's hard for me to switch programs. And usually, once your taskbar quits, Explorer quits, and then everything else goes along with it.
I like how this is set up like a pamphlet.
I know. I like those. Those are cute, as they say.
Those are so cute.
Troublesome says he read it. Nothing. Yeah, we need to. If you jump in there, here's an easy way to do it. Troublesome.
Go to their Telegram.
Nope. Go buy $20 worth. See if you get $20 worth of tokens. You get $16 worth of tokens. There was $4 in taxes.
Well, we could just simply, or you could go to the Telegram. And
go to the Telegram and ask. They have a pretty active Telegram apparently.
Yeah.
They had a nice following. We had good people bomb the show today here.
Yeah. How many did we get?
Yeah, we're over 100 now on YouTube.
There you go. Whoop,
whoop. I don't want to start clicking on other things because the whole thing will crash.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. So, but let's go ahead and go over it. Yeah, I think they're at a good area. This area right here for a demand area. I like this area here. Also, the lower area here at that 003-ish area. Also, so one of those areas that I think you get in at, and I don't think it would hurt You know, again, that's not financial advice, but entertainment and social educational purposes only. All right, so that's in a nutshell. Let's go ahead and check out AVAX. AVAX is pretty much the same way. It is above the 8 and 20 period moving average. So AVAX might be starting to get some pumpage here. We'll see what happens. But it did go up to come down here, and we're starting to find some support on that 8 period here. So we could see this rally up to these higher levels here. Where are you at right here?
Odd. Affecting everything here.
Yeah, you still have the police mic going on. Did you know that?
No, I can't get to it to change it. I've been talking all this time in the.
Yes, you have.
Oh,
Yes,
come
you
on,
have.
you guys. What do we got? One actual person listening, and it's just Pedro.
Read it, nothing.
That's better.
There we
I
are.
guess I need to listen to myself. Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now batting.
Yeah,
Bottom of the ninth inning. Lou Gehrig.
there you go.
All right, enough of that.
All right. So yeah, I would look to see it come down. But the fact is that we didn't really put much of a demand wick here. I'm expecting us to go up, then to go down. But this is kind of conflicting. So we'll see what happens here. But Garen, there's this 32 to 30-ish dollar area. Expect some type of selling pressure to come into this level and potentially come back and retest that 8 period moving average. So I would expect to see something of that nature here happen here soon. That's in a nutshell. Check out Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu is still kind of just consolidating here. I know Zach has got thousands of dollars of Shiba here.
Although he sold a lot of it. He got unhappy with them a while ago, and he dumped a lot of it. He said his goal at one point was to be completely out of SHIB and just to be into other things on their ecosystem.
Ooh.
Drino says, yes,
Yeah.
I am smoking that crack.
It's interesting.
Because he mentioned an ETF NetZ.
Yes.
That's good. Troublesome your
So-
years of rock and roll, or it got you half deaf. Yeah. It's not like nowadays where they got the giant earpieces and IFBs that they don't hear anything except the band itself at normal volumes. Back in the day, you had, let me guess, you had giant Marshalls or something like this. Some dude that the band looked like Quiet Riot in front of you going,
Headbanging, man.
Headbanger's Ball, ladies and gentlemen.
You can see right here. I expect to see this. It all depends. I expect to see us to come down to the 401088 to the 101000. So we'll see what happens. But I'll probably pick up some at these lower levels again, and then see what happens. Definitely. So that's it in a nutshell.
All right, I think that's all that we got time for today here. Pedro and I could do
Yep.
this all day, but got real world stuff to do, including getting to the butcher before they close at 4.
Dude, get some stuff. Order some stuff on Devour. Yeah.
I'll have to work Mrs. Striking into that. She's not so keen to that. Come to think of it, whenever we don't even get pizza delivered with they always go for pickup. Her family.
Well, that's interesting.
That's interesting. I mean, a lot of people, every once in a while you get a bad experience with delivery, and you're just like, screw it. It was that the movie about Roaring Kitty, and it had Pete Davidson playing his brother. And
Yeah.
Pete Davidson is one of the best actors of all time.
Dude,
Bar
he
none, can rock it and roll it any character, especially if it's any sort
so
of.
you're being
degenerate.
serious.
Yeah, he's
All
a
right.
great actor.
Yes, exactly. I thought you were. I don't know if you're. I do think the same thing too, man. He is phenomenal, man.
He is, and he played that degenerate brother
So
who was
good.
doing Uber Eats and just
Dude,
eating all the food. He'd just order, and whenever he's hungry, he'd pick up a job, eat the food, and leave the empty wrappers on the guy. Like, fuck you. You know? I love that.
Played him.
That's Mrs. Striking's fear, is that they're gonna put their hands in your food.
Dude, have you seen what's that one that he was in? The one when he's like a just a jacked up little brother or older brother, and he tattoos that kid. Do you know which one I'm talking
Yes.
about? Dude, I was sitting there just like, oh my goodness. And the thing is, I've heard he's like a hardcore getter, dude. He doesn't sleep in. He hard charges, dude. He is such like a go-getter, bro. It's like his schedule's just nonstop, right? There was a thing somebody said, dude, you're looking pasty, like kind of gross. And he said, well, I'll tell you my schedule. And he goes, I get up at 4:00 in the morning and I'm just like, did you only get like 5 hours of sleep? Like, I'm sitting there like counting, and I was just impressed how much of a grinder is. But whenever you see him playing, dude, he literally like plays the most degenerate, like jacked up person every time, and I'm like, how does he get it? Like, that's not his personality. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Feeling me. Anyhows, so yeah, it's in a nutshell.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a good show today. I can't thank our new sponsor, BYDFI, enough for not only joining the team here at DYOR Media,
Absolutely.
but also for participating in today's show and having Stella, their business development representative, stop by the show. Their chief marketing officer, Michael, has come by here in the past and watched also. But apparently they're very happy with our kickoff event here. And they'll be more happy if you click those links and register. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
I expect all of you to come back and show me your gains.
Well, it's interesting. We might, and this is probably news this is an alpha to even Tom. So, but it wouldn't be bad to actually sit there and do like just, maybe some day trading mornings, right? Where I sit there and we just kind of do some day trading. I'm not going to teach you what I know, but I'll just let you know, hey, I'm getting in right here, right? On a day trading from here to here.
I think that's a great plan, and we'll first of all, we'll plan those out to make sure they're available on BYDFI, of which they're fairly deep. I haven't found anything yet that they didn't have, but I'm not, they don't have things that are like on the CME and that type of stuff. They have crypto stuff. And they're pretty quick to get some meme coins up there too, so it's not just all serious stuff that people are tired of.
You know what I want to see? I want to be able to get to the point where I can short meme coins. I can short these small little coins.
Man, I would love to be able to short a basket of meme coins. Just have one fund to take care of, all the second-rate meme coins, not Pepe and Shib, but just put because one little bit of bad news and they're all going down 50%, and it'd be like, what'd you do today? Oh, I did 20,000x. Oh, why? Oh, I don't know. Meme coins went down 20,000x.
Well, I thought about maybe pairing them to something like, what I'm saying, that would move. So like pair it to, let's say, like Ethereum, or whereas that actually won't work.
You'd need a lot of money.
Yeah, I was gonna say you would need literally like just enough to where you can short it, and then when I buy it back, because remember, like I always tell you guys, when you short a market or you short something, you put an actual floor in. So one of the biggest issues with these meme coins is that you can't short it, and so what happens is it just crashes. Whereas if you could short it, what would happen is it would actually put in a base, a higher low, which would then say give that a consolidation base, and then you could see it rebound again. So that's why I keep saying, like, if we could figure out a way to short it, and I have a couple ideas, maybe if they were willing to hear me out, create a chain, where you could, I don't know.
Chain?
If it's, a chain where.
Drano, keep listening. There's a chain.
I don't know. I've thought about it, but I don't want to put it out there, so we'll see. Yeah, but yeah, if you could short a meme coin, you could put a floor in and potentially stop seeing rugs, because people got to buy back those shorts, and then you have a big explosion. Boom.
All right, why is my there it is. I lost my DYOR Live logo. I've got a green screen back there instead of.
Oh no, I see something there.
Nah, it's just my browser chart. But if I, I like to have the DYOR logo there, but instead I got a green screen.
Oh, green screen. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Oh, these are challenges. All right, I'm gonna roll the credits here.
Alrighty, my peoples.
I fart in your
not it.
general direction.
Oh, dude.
Did I take you by surprise with that one?
Oh man, you did. It was good. It was a good surprise.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberry.
Elderberries.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Yo! Oh, what is going on? Oh, that is good.
Oh, I know, that was good, isn't it?
And for our closing credits, we have English mother.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, another good day here, another good guest with Shelly Rupel of DPAY/Devour. Go check them out on the great interwebs. Links below for Devour. Good stuff, Pedro. Good stuff. Enjoyed the show today. Lots of good stuff talking about BTC and a couple other things. Of course, to BYDFI, our new sponsor over here. We're going to have a lot to talk about them coming up. Probably some games, giveaways, bonuses, all types of stuff. And hopefully BYDFI will join us at the Blockchain Futurist Convention in Toronto as a sponsor. Please, guys, read that pitch. All right, guys? Anyway, we'll talk to everybody soon. Our schedule here, if you haven't seen it, is we'll be on the air tomorrow at the same time. No, not same time, but at the normal time, about 12:15. Thursday or Wednesday, whatever day it is. Thursday is July 4th. We are off. But there's a good chance for a rant on Friday, so stick around. Come visit us tomorrow. Bring your thoughts. Bring your complaints so we can entertain. Bring your laughs so we can gaff.
So we can gaff.
Anyway, as I always like to say on behalf of Pedro Garcia and myself, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to host another episode of DYOR Live. We'll see you guys again tomorrow, so be there. Who gets the last one? Drano gets the last one. See you guys next time. See ya!
See you guys next time. Woo-hoo.